Hey, Wedding Confessionals listeners, it's Brooke.
And Pam.
And we are coming in early to let you know that this is part 2.
Hey.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Numero dos of our evening with my buddy Paul Caiola.
With Paul.
Paulie. So if you're hearing this and you're like, who's Paul? I don't know who Paul is. Pause this and go back one episode. So you need to go back to episode 65 and listen to part 1 of Paul's episode where he talks about his wedding, my buddy Adam's wedding that we went to very recently. Mm-hmm. And this is just all confessionals.
All confessionals today.
Lots of drama. They're pretty funny.
Good times.
So sit back and enjoy part 2. And if you haven't listened to part 1, what the hell are you doing here?
Do it.
Go back. Bye.
Bye.
Something borrowed, something blue. Give us all your juicy news, sensational, irrational. It's Wedding Confessionals.
So, you guys ready to get into wedding confessionals?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, let's read some listener anonymous confessionals. Pammy, are you going to go first?
I will.
Okay. I've already looked and I saw that number 2 is a little wordy. Are you trolling me a little bit?
You know what? They're all not going to be short for you. So 1 out of how many? You can do it. I know you can do it.
You are forcing her into a quiz every episode that she never really signed on for.
You know what?
Thank you,
You
Paul.
don't ever have to come back, Paul.
Paul, you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you,
Man,
Pam.
she agrees with you on that one food truck thing, and then you abandon me forever?
She's also still up in the air about the whole proposal thing, so I'm hoping to sway her.
Ooh. Okay, Pammy, go first.
All right. Before I start reading, I have to say I love how this begins.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone, but mostly Ruth. Ruthie. My man and I are both 28 and have been together 3 years. His sister and her boyfriend are 22 and have been together for about the same amount of time. They just got engaged after their college graduation. My question might seem presumptuous, but it's a possibility, so I thought I'd write my favorite podcast. Yay! I like her a lot, but we're not super close yet. We aren't sure yet when the wedding will happen, but my boyfriend and I are assuming we are life partners and we will get married eventually ourselves. So I'm almost definitely going to be around for the next year or 2 when the sister gets hitched. Here's the thing. I really do not want to be a bridesmaid. I could do a reading or help with something she needs, or maybe even team up with a cousin and play a piece of music at the ceremony. I would also be fine with just being a guest and chill out and enjoy the wedding, or bat questions as to why her brother and I aren't married. I just do not want to be a bridesmaid. So my question is, should I politely tell her this, framing it as my intense love-hate relationship with weddings? I would hate to take the place of one of her friends just because she feels obligated to include me somehow. Plus, most people hate public speaking, and I'm completely fine with it. So maybe a reading or something would actually be helpful. But maybe telling her this would come off as rude or passive-aggressive and make her feel like I actually do want to be a bridesmaid. It's also possible I could come off as sour since I'm not engaged yet, which is fine by me. I'm not ready for that shit. Maybe writing it out first and asking for my boyfriend and their mom's input, or allow them to let her know that she's not obligated to include me. From should I speak up or shut up?
All right.
Paul,
Yeah.
thoughts?
Well, I have long held the belief that women have it way worse with weddings than men, so I've never been in this specific
I
situation
like that he
myself.
said just weddings.
Well, right. In most things. Basically everything.
You can
So,
stay.
but I feel like this is something that maybe you have to shut up about and hope that she doesn't ask you. And then, because I say that because she says she's not that close to her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you were super close to someone, you could know how they would react. But if this is kind of like a more unknown, I think the best idea would be like you ladies always say, it's his family, so let him deal with it. So maybe letting your your boyfriend know, look, maybe low-key tell your sister, I don't want to be a bridesmaid for me. But I think if she's like, no, she has to be a bridesmaid, you might kind of be stuck. What do you think, ladies?
Agreed.
Yeah, I feel like even if you had to become a bridesmaid, if she asked you, first of all, she asked you, you have to say yes. Mm-hmm. This is potentially a in-law for a very long time. And she actually sounds like a pretty nice person. It sounds like you don't have beef with her, which is nice.
Yeah.
Even worst case scenario, you're a bridesmaid. You're so low on the list of people in her life that you're an obligation bridesmaid, which means no one's expecting you to do shit.
I
Right?
also think they're quite young to be getting married, which means there's going to be a ton of bridesmaids.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think that the chances of you being asked to be a bridesmaid are pretty low because A, you're not close, and B, you're not engaged yet. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that she's going to feel obligated at this point. Maybe if you were engaged, that would be a different story.
Yeah, this isn't it's not like your brother's getting married and you're like a direct sibling of the person getting married.
Yes.
You're a TBD potential in-law in the future. I think it's very slim to none that you will be asked, right?
Agreed.
But
should she say
life's
something?
crazy. Okay, that's the truth. That's the question. Should you say something? As you were reading this, my mind wandered to sometimes when you want to tell somebody something that's a little socially awkward and you don't know how to do it and you're trying to find the correct venue, if there's any way to be 2 drinks in with this woman and not say I don't want to be a bridesmaid, to be like, if you ever need help with like music, or I would say don't lead with the I don't want to be a bridesmaid
With
so
the
much
negative.
as be
Yeah.
if you ever need help with music, I'm great with this. If you need help with public speaking, I'm great with this. I don't know why you would speak at this person's wedding if you don't know them that well.
A reading?
Right.
Well, the reading. Yeah.
Right. But it's, again, a reading is somebody usually fairly close. But I think if you just kind of throw that up, like if you need help with, and you name very specific type things, is that a good way to kind of get out of it? Or does that now advertise as like, I can't wait to help with your wedding, AKA make me a bridesmaid?
Yeah.
Well, it's not, I mean, outside of the obvious reasons, is it clear why she doesn't want to be a bridesmaid? Like, does she have some
kind of sucks.
past bridesmaid related
No, if you
trauma?
don't really know this person, like
Yeah.
being a bridesmaid is fun when it's your friend.
Okay.
When you're in it, yeah.
But if it's like, if this girl doesn't really know this woman and it's, she's 28, this person's 22, all the people involved are going to be 22 and a bunch of that girl's family that she doesn't know at all. So if she gets pulled into this, you're going to a dress fitting and a this and a that she doesn't know these people.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they could be rad. It could be fine.
I think that we also need to go back to our advice of it's the groom's side or the boyfriend, where I think maybe she can plant some seeds and be like, and have him just kind of lay it out a little bit, not actually say she doesn't want to do it or don't ask her, but be like, you know what, it's cool. Like, do your own thing, sister. Pick your people, or ask her. Be like, oh, who have you picked, or who have you decided?
You're saying that her boyfriend should say that?
I think so.
That's a normal question. That's not a weird question.
And she
Yeah.
actually said she would contact the mother too. She seemed comfortable contacting her potential future mother-in-law, so that might even be a better
Yeah, I
resource.
feel like maybe you go a back channel and just kind of get the roots established that we're not really down for the bridesmaiding.
Yeah.
But then again, do you want to get your potential future mother-in-law thinking that you don't want to be involved in family events? I don't know.
That has to be the judgment call on what you like. If someone said that to my mom, she wouldn't care. She would get it because my mother would rather jump off the bridge and be a bridesmaid, so she would fully understand. So like if your future mother-in-law is like that, she would be like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I don't know.
That's true. What sucks is that like I really want the answer to be, you should be able to be just completely honest and be like, this isn't for me. But then it does sound like, wow, being close and involved with your wedding sounds like my nightmare, which is like a terrible thing to tell somebody. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I think
I guess the question is, does she shut up or does she speak up? That's her real question. And it's like, I think we're all going like this back way of like, sort of speak up.
Speak up to your boyfriend.
Okay. Yeah.
you can do that. I just want to say what I would do, and I wouldn't say anything. I would just
Cross my fingers.
I would cross my fingers, and if it happened, I will gladly do it and have it. But and you know what? You might learn something from this wedding that you like, or things you don't want to do for your wedding. So, if it actually does happen, then it could be useful
Yeah,
for the
true.
future.
Yeah, I think that on one hand, it's a pain in the butt because you don't want to get involved with this weird stuff you don't want to do. Because you don't want to be a bridesmaid and all that comes along with it, especially a bridesmaid for someone that you don't know. But I think, again, I always go back to the idea that it's not the short-term situation, it's your long-term relationship. And this is, I think that speaking up adds potential conflict in your potential long-term relationships. Like this might be your in-law. This might be your person that you see at major holidays for a very long time.
Yeah.
And someone that it sounds like so far you've had a pretty decent relationship with.
Yeah.
You don't know them that well, but everything seems to be going along swimmingly. I think the odds of her making you a bridesmaid is slim, so it's not worth
Agreed.
speaking up. And it's not like you're only against the fact that you find it annoying. There's nothing like offensive. It's not like, and by being a bridesmaid, I would be a bridesmaid with this other woman who murdered my father. And you're like, oh, well,
Well, that escalated
you
quickly.
might need to speak up. But this is just a mild annoyance that may turn into be something that's fine. And again, she sounds like a nice person. I can't
all
believe I'm
sound
saying
nice.
this. I think you have to shut up. And I usually say
Wow,
speak up, but I think
know.
I'm saying shut up.
All right.
I wasn't expecting to get to that journey, guys, but here I am. Paul, shut up or speak up.
I think that, well, the other thing it could be is a financial situation. If you don't have I think if it's a financial thing, you can say that, right? Because being a bridesmaid is expensive.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
So I think I think you're both right that it's very slim to none that you will be asked, right? Because when you're 22, you have 8,000 best friends that you all want to be in your wedding. So
Yes.
Sure.
right. So, and then I think you can sow the seeds with your boyfriend of like, but I don't think you should say anything to her directly. I don't think there's a way to make that conversation.
What about
go
the
well.
mother-in-law? No.
That's based solely on your relationship with your mother-in-law. You know your mother-in-law. I don't.
Yeah.
If you are marrying my brother, he is currently married. You can say something.
I will fight you. 'Cause
You
I
can
like
say
that
something
marriage.
to my mother. She would be cool, but I don't know your mother-in-law. Potential future mother-in-law.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
So are you on the same page as Paul?
Oh yeah.
Just talk to the mother-in-law.
No, I'm shut up.
You're shut up.
I'm shut up.
I'm shut up, and you're
I'm say something to your boyfriend.
okay. Call your boyfriend.
Yeah. Call your boyfriend.
Ba-da-boom, 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 ba-da-boom. It's fine. They didn't have that song at the wedding we went
It was
to.
incredibly disappointing.
We
We are at a
were
gay
busted.
wedding. Listen, wedding DJs. If you're DJing a gay wedding, bring Robin. You need all of Robin's songs at a gay wedding.
He's not wrong.
There you go.
Take a note.
There's been a lot of tips on this episode.
Hot tips.
Yep.
Racking them
A
up.
lot of tips.
Hot
Right.
wedding tips.
Next one.
Okay.
Brooke, you ready for this? Do you think
Fine.
you can do this?
God, it's like a 4-act. What is this?
You can do
The
it.
Shakespearean.
Jesus.
There's just lots of spaces. I double spaced.
That is a lie. I'm looking at a lot. It's fine. I'll get through it, and we'll all get through it together, and we'll come out stronger. Is everyone prepared for me to try not to botch this?
Let's do it.
Dear Wedding Confessionals. Nailed it.
Yes, you're done.
Dear Wedding Confessionals, my FH future,
Future
husband.
Oh, my future. I'm literally on word number 2 and already like falling apart.
This is going to be long, Paul.
I'm going to make her
I'm gonna have some wine.
rue
Yeah.
the day. Okay, so Dear Wedding Confessionals, my future husband and I are getting married in June. We booked the venue a little over a year from the date of the actual wedding. We, of course, didn't think of graduations, with it being June and all, because neither me or my future husband graduated that late, so we thought we'd be in the clear for sure. Well, it turns out my future husband's niece is going to be graduating from high school on the same day. Her high school is local, so we thought, oh, there won't be an issue. But it turns out her high school is graduating at a college campus an hour and a half away. The graduation starts at 1:30. The wedding starts at 5 p.m. My original thoughts, well, that's too bad that my future husband's brother will miss the wedding so he can watch his daughter graduate. Maybe they can make it to the reception. No big deal. My future husband has 4 brothers, so they're the other 3 that will be at the wedding. 2 are my groomsmen and 1 is the officiant. A few weeks pass and we find out that more of the family wants to go to the graduation. Again, it's at 1:30 and it's an hour and a half away. Those family members include the officiant, whose daughter is also the flower girl, and my future husband's mother. I was a little offended that his mom wanted to go to the graduation and not the wedding. The officiant and his mom are going to try to go watch her walk across the stage and then book it back to the wedding in time for the ceremony. Luckily, her last name is high in the alphabet, so it's not like they have to wait for the Y's or something. But it seems a little bit risky to me. His mom can also be incredibly forgetful, and I'm super worried she's going to forget something at home, which is an hour from the venue, and have to go back home before heading to the venue after the graduation. We also just recently, within a week or two, found out that one of the groomsmen is also going to go to the graduation.
What?
And to make matters worse, the officiant told my future husband that he'll be there for sure, but, quote, weddings don't start on time. And this is where she gets into all caps. Bitch, this wedding will.
I like her.
According to my day of coordinator, I'm going to be dressed and ready by 3 p.m. And if the wedding is running late, it's going to be because the bride isn't ready, not because we're waiting for the officiant. It's been a long year of planning, but it's almost over, and I'm sure it'll be great. I have a cousin that is ordained as well, if worse comes to worse, from the wedding versus the graduation. Whew. Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow. That was a fun journey for me, and I did pretty well.
You did good. You made it.
Thanks, guys.
Nicely done.
Still here.
You can read.
I can read. Wow. I have a lot of things to unpack.
Yeah, there's
I
a
know.
lot here.
I feel like we just have to go by paragraph,
Okay.
because it's
Yeah.
a journey. I will say that is a really good point when it comes to weddings. A lot of times happen in June. Can you let in Ruth? Hey, Ruthie.
Hey, sweetie.
Hi, lady. Take your spot, and she's in her doggy bed. We're good. A lot of people get married in June, but now schools kind of. Sometimes I feel like schools used to graduate and everything in May, but now it is starting to be June's pretty common for high school and college graduations.
I graduated in
it's-
June.
I guess you have to think about who in your family might be graduating, which is something that it wouldn't even occur to me to think about. But yeah, that's a good point.
That is a good point.
Oh, so it's a niece. It's her husband, or future husband's niece. Mm-hmm. So her, from high school. She's not valedictorian, right? She sounds like she's just graduating.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What? Look at your face.
I can't understand an adult that isn't an immediate family member or a grandmother choosing to go to a high school graduation over a wedding.
Not grandfather, though?
Or a grandparent.
She just came up. Yes, I understand.
She said she's a little insulted. I'd probably be a lot insulted.
Can we just talk about how boring graduations are?
Yeah, exactly.
They're the worst.
You know, like 0.1% of the people that are involved, as opposed to the wedding where you know 100% of the people that are involved.
I have been to plenty of graduation. I have never enjoyed myself.
Skipped my college graduation.
Me too.
Hey.
I mean, listen, I get it's a big accomplishment. I mean, you graduated high school. I know, but Paul and I are both like,
I mean, it's an accomplishment. I don't know if it's a big one.
I'm just saying, it's very exciting for her. It is a big chapter close in a young person's life.
Yes.
I 100% agree with that. If you had to ask me what is a more important moment, a high school graduation or a wedding, I would say the wedding. And I might be biased. I don't know if you know this. I co-host a wedding podcast. Oh my God. High school graduation confessionals would be the boringest
amazing.
fucking show.
No,
Oh my
you gotta
gosh.
get the cool kids on.
Oh, the cool kids.
Yeah, like the one who graduated pregnant or something. Like
Ooh, wow. You know what? We might be branching out. We got that
Scandalous.
funeral show. No.
trademark.
So wait, go ahead, Pam.
I mean, yes, I know you're sitting there just bashing on graduations.
Boring.
Sure, but like you have to go and it's a big deal and it's not like they can move that. Sorry, my uncle's getting married. Can you move the graduation? But that's not going to happen.
But this person wasn't angry until it came to the mother-in-law and the officiant. She was chill with
The direct
the
parents.
direct parent. Like she was very chill with that.
But the grandma is the grandma. That's the mom. That's her grandma.
I actually think you let go of the mom too. It's
Yeah.
the
Yes.
officiant.
Well,
that
here's
is
the
like-
thing that's going to happen.
But
People
that's
are
a
gonna-
brother. That's a brother too.
But you agreed to officiate my wedding on this day.
It's
at
not
least
your
6
child.
months ago.
Yeah.
It's not your child. You can watch a video.
It's really hard for me because I just genuinely do not like graduation. So it's hard for me to understand anyone that would drive an hour and a half to go see a high school. Like, absolutely not. I'm the worst. Okay. But I
get this bride.
No, I feel you very hard.
Yes.
I need you to know. Yes. Let's start with that.
Yes.
You are right. We support you. We validate all your feelings.
Yes.
Your feelings of like, are we choosing a teenager's journey over my adult like life? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
In their defense, they've known this kid a lot longer than they've known you. And my guess is that your future husband is a very low-key guy that isn't a lot of drama, that doesn't demand much. So they look at him and they think he won't mind.
He'll be okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's not you, it's him. That's their connection, is him.
You know what you're doing? You call your cousin the officiant, and he's the officiant, or she is the officiant now,
You were recasting the officiant.
and the brother is out. Yeah. Bye.
And I would just be like, I'm so sorry, but it sounds like you're overwhelmed and double booked. I'm going to take this pressure off of you. Show up when you can.
Yeah.
Take it off of it. Honestly.
Yes.
And it's not a mean thing. It's not like, fuck you, you're going to the graduation. It's like, you know what? Some complications we didn't realize arose. And that's okay. And I'm going to give you an out. And we have a backup plan and it'll be fine. And we are really appreciative that you would even offer. But, we don't want to have a scheduling snafu. My other question is this. Now, don't tell. Listen, if any of these other family members are listening to this podcast, first of all, thank you. Hit subscribe. 5 stars. Make sure they're away from the podcast right now. Don't tell any of them. What if you push the wedding an hour and you don't tell any of them? So they might think they're running late, because if you tell them, they're going to dawdle.
Yes.
But if you don't tell them and you start the wedding an hour late and you have like a couple cocktail, like you have like
You could switch the cocktail hour forward or
past
something.
white wine spritzer. Don't give people trash, but something past quick drink and a little bit of music for an hour. And you just kind of go a little unconventional. Both of you did that. And that way everyone has time to get there, but they don't know it. It's like your surprise for them. And that's how you frame it later if they figure out what's going on. You're like, surprise. We want to make sure everybody had time to get here. And then the wedding starts at 6 rather than 5.
That's a pretty good idea. That seems doable.
I like that.
I don't know if you have time to pull this off, but I like my idea.
If you want to contact Wedding Confessionals, I can get my husband to work on it for you. He's very efficient.
He's very efficient.
He will offend everyone he speaks to, though.
It's true. But he's mean with a spreadsheet and he gets it done. But yeah, I wonder what compromise can be made. I think you're right. You might want to switch out the officiant. You might want to push the... Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't...
Well, because here's the thing too, is pushing out the officiant makes sense because you don't want that stress on your wedding day of are they going to make it, and having a backup of the just in case. It's like, no, I need to know who's going to be standing there, who's got everything memorized, and not throwing the understudy on at the last minute. Like,
Yes.
you don't need that stress.
Give
And
her
it's
time to
fine,
prepare.
But yes.
Don't let the understudy know that they're really doing it so they can be ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you have time, it's like my brother married us. It's very easy to become an officiant. So if you don't want to use your cousin, if you want to use like maybe you have a sister or something, like you could.
Maybe me.
Yeah, Brooke.
Brooke would love to do it.
My God, why am I not ordained yet? I got to get on that
You
shit.
should be.
Oh,
should.
I'd be so good at it, you guys.
Yeah, because then it wouldn't.
Dearly beloved.
Marriage.
Oh, boy.
I'm just auditioning right now for everyone.
Oh boy.
But yeah, my other kind of overarching thought that I want you to have in your brain is that, for the most part, I know that at this point you are getting very close to the actual wedding date and stress is building up and you are the bride and it's getting a lot on your plate and you can feel the pressure on your shoulders. But you can't boss everybody around.
Yeah.
People are going to do whatever the hell they want and you don't really have a lot of say in it. So they're not going to adapt. Seems like they've made their decisions.
Yeah, they're going.
So if that's already the wind and that's the way it's blowing, it's up to you to adjust your sails.
Yeah.
You know, you want to have a successful wedding, you want to have a happy day that isn't stressful, you make the adjustments because they clearly aren't going to. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Push that wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I think
worth
that's a
it.
good idea.
Whatever the money is.
Just don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone and it's fine.
And then just send them the bill.
And then when that one person's like, no wedding starts on time, and you're like, I guess you're right, and then just like glare at him. That's such a rude thing to say. You're not right. Bitch, mine will. Because it's starting at 6 now.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we got through it, right?
Okay, yeah.
Ready for number 3?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
I noticed his is half the size of mine, which is fine, Pam.
I like Paul better
Ooh.
Ugh,
tonight.
tonight. I didn't have food trucks.
Okay. Dear Wedding Confessionals, I love to have a place to vent about my wedding.
Welcome.
Yay.
So, I've been married for several years now, but I will never forget how pissed off I was at my dad at my wedding. My parents hadn't been getting along, that was no secret, but they decided they couldn't hold it in for one day. They got into a huge fight over nothing before the ceremony, and my dad got so mad he threw his phone on the ground and smashed it. And I, not knowing any of this, is waiting for my dad to come and walk me down the aisle, but he didn't come, and I couldn't get a hold of him. Well, he finally did show up, told me what happened, and you can totally see in the pictures of me walking down the aisle how pissed off I am. Even in the family pictures after the ceremony, yes, that was awkward, I'm still just pissed. Luckily, everything else went great, but man, I still get heated just thinking about all that. From clearly still not over it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Ugh. Can I first just say I'm so sorry?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I
Yes.
said this the last episode. Sometimes family just sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not about you.
Should have been about you, but it wasn't.
Yes.
Yes. They couldn't. Yeah. They made it about them.
Mm-hmm.
One day.
One day.
One day.
Mm-hmm.
You also, just in general, people, don't throw phones. That's crazy.
Call it the
does
Russell
that?
Crowe lesson.
Throw literally anything else. Don't throw a phone.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yep.
It is your communication hub.
Yes.
It's how I look at Instagram pictures. I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't throw a phone. Put it in your pocket. Punch a wall. Don't do that either. Here's an idea. Don't be
No.
violent.
Yeah.
Find other ways. Get some yoga in your life. Ugh.
I
What
know.
a pain in the ass.
And I get why she's still not over it. Like, that's something that's going to stick with you the rest of your life when you think about your wedding. Like,
Yeah.
that sucks.
It's going to overwhelm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely. Ugh. You know what sucks? And that's something that we kind of, I think, touched on in an earlier episode is the idea of, we don't get to choose our family. And sometimes we don't get the best hand in the poker game. The poker game of families. But what sucks is that you want on these big, important landmark days in your life, like a high school graduation.
It's called a callback.
But you want in those moments, you want these people that have been disappointed in the past to magically become completely different people for just like 8 hours. Not even 24.
Nope.
Just like 8.
Yeah.
And they never are. And a lot of time these flawed individuals become a heightened version, like the shittiest version of themselves during this time, because
Sure.
they're
Yep.
either put head to head with a family member they don't like, or there's now a stress, or it's not about them if they're a narcissist. There's so many opportunities in a wedding for a shitty person to act like a bigger asshole. And your father is an example of that. And that sucks.
Yeah.
And I hope at some point he apologized, or he
Yeah.
does. He might not. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
I will say, bitch face to bitch face. I really kind of appreciate the fact that you didn't hold back and there was no poker face. It's just like, this is genuinely how I'm feeling in this moment. And this memory is real. And this is it.
Yeah.
And I know
no
the
fake
pictures,
smile.
Yeah, I know the pictures you feel are like awkward and look pained, but you know what? There's something about having a real fucking moment in life and being like, this is what I look like. Like everyone says, like Facebook has become this like artificial version of who we are, and it's just a bunch of smiling pictures. I like that your wedding photo is kind of like fucking gritty. Good for you.
And I mean, I do think, I don't know how long it has passed since this happened, but there probably will be a day where you will laugh about it. May not be soon, but it will eventually become part of your personal history, and you'll tell funny stories to your kids about it. Like, this is what Grandpa did at the wedding or whatever, and you'll laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you still, if you want to, when you're ready, print that photo and put it out in a frame, and be like, yeah, that was that fucking day, isn't that crazy? But I think that, it's okay to, I like that you didn't placate for people. You're like, this is my real emotion, and I'm allowed to have it, and it's real, and it's
You're being a jerk.
Yeah, the byproduct of somebody being an idiot,
Yep.
and smashing up their phone like a dummy.
Yeah.
Guys, don't smash your phones. Get better cases. Otterbox. This episode is brought to you by Otterbox.
Oh boy.
No advertising until they pay.
This one's on me, Otterbox. Oh my God. Well, yeah. Also, you sound like a rad chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like you. Sorry, your dad's a jerk.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're not alone. A lot of us have random family members that aren't awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And sometimes it does come up
True.
at weddings, and it's tough, and you're not alone. And I hope the rest of the day was pretty fun.
Yeah. She said the rest of the day was good, so that's...
Yeah. You didn't let it bring you down too
For
much.
the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So at least there's that.
And something is going to go wrong at your wedding.
Yeah.
So at least
Yes.
what went wrong was like the first thing, and then everything else was good.
That's
It only went
got
up
it out of
from
the
there.
way.
That's
Get out of the
true.
way. Smash the phone. I wonder if they were late to the wedding
Hmm.
because of the phone thing. I mean, weddings never start on time, according to that guy. So
Allegedly.
She said she was waiting for him and calling him.
I would
Oh
have
my
been
gosh.
pissed.
I would have been so mad.
As we know, I'm very punctual.
Yes.
That would have driven me nuts.
Yeah.
I would have thrown a phone. Just kidding. So that is all the confessionals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Paul, you did it.
Thanks.
Congrats. Do you know what's next? You're a big fan of the show. What's
It
next?
is Bridal Breaks.
Yeah. Bridal Breaks for people that have never listened to the show before. First of all, fantastic episode to start with. Paul's a great guest.
Thank ya.
Bridal Breaks are suggestions we give not only to brides, but to anyone helping to plan a wedding of just fun things to do and absorb and be entertained by that have nothing to do with weddings. So you can step away from all the wedding planning bizarro craziness and enjoy your life. So that when you have to go back to doing that responsible stuff, you're a little less crazy. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Pamela, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
So I found this drink, of course, on delish.com. And the title of the drink is what got me. It is a Tiffany Mimosa.
Ooh.
So it's blue.
Tiffany Blue. We love Tiffany Blue.
And I love it. It looks so cute. And it looks good too. So this is taking a lemon and going around the rim, dipping it in some sugar, doing blue. I just learned how to say this correctly, and
Paul?
hopefully I don't screw it up. But Paul schooled me on how to say blue curacao.
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 All right. Curacao.
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 How long can we keep doing this?
8 hours.
Curacao.
All right. Back to our
Pam's
curacao.
like, we're done with this joke. We're moving on.
Champagne or Prosecco.
Ooh.
Lemonade, and then you put a little white ribbon if you are really into details, which you kind of have to be
Cute.
with your Tiffany Mimosa, but a little thin white ribbon on the stem.
Oh, that's
And it
cute.
goes in like a champagne glass, I
It
guess,
does.
the Prosecco.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So cute.
Yeah, I'm down with that. That soup's cute.
I think it's good for a bridal shower
Oh,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, I like that. Something blue.
Or an engagement party.
or engagement party.
That's a good point.
Or a Tuesday.
Yeah, or
That
breakfast.
works too.
Sure. Yeah. After the gym.
Yep.
Need a little pick me up. Have this beverage. My bridal break for the week is Ali Wong, who's a stand-up comedian. I think I actually Baby Cobra was a bridal
Yep.
break a while back.
Yep.
She has a brand new special on Netflix. So Ali Wong is at it again. Her new special is called Hard Knock Wife. And she has shown up. She's had her first baby and she's currently pregnant with her second one when she's doing this stand-up. And it's all about motherhood and being a woman, and in every fun, interesting, and also gross way. If you are a little squeamish, this is not the stand-up for you. Paul, you've seen it, right?
I have seen it. It is profane,
Yes, but magical.
filthy, and magical.
Yeah, filthy and magical, definitely.
Filthy
so
and magical.
if
I like
you're
this
into
too.
some dirty jokes told by a pregnant lady, that is definitely for you, and it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Ali Wong, she's my
Nice.
queen. I love her. Style icon too. Her glasses are rad.
Mm-hmm.
She's the best glasses.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, Paul, what's
What's
up?
yours?
Oh, so I just want to express how much I thought about this because I was like,
He's been like in a crisis mode.
I was trying to pick amongst multiple options.
Okay.
So I decided to land on a podcast. And the reason I'm telling you about this podcast is because when I'm stressed out and I just need a moment, I want to laugh, but I also want to feel seen. I want to feel like someone else is also angry, right? So this is a podcast. It's called Las Culturistas. It is the gayest thing I've ever listened to or seen. It's hosted by two New York comedians, Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang. These two young guys, they're hysterically funny. And here's the thing. Some of the times the podcasts are long. They'll have a guest on. They'll talk about New York comedy. They're great. They're fun. But if you don't have the time for that, what you want to do is you just scrub through to the last like 15 minutes. That's where they get to their signature segment, which is called I Don't Think So, Honey. At which
Does
point...
it go, I don't think so, honey.
Yes,
that?
exactly.
Okay.
Each host and the guest gets one timed minute to rail against something in pop culture or the world that is pissing them off. And they just
Ooh.
Yeah.
yell, I don't think so. Past I don't think so honeys have been, I don't think so honey, Lake Michigan. If I'm seeing a body of water and I can't see the other side, you better be an ocean. I don't think so honey, artisanal ketchup. I don't think so honey, people who have not forgiven Chipotle. Things like this. And it's a great way to just like, you know, the caterer just called and they don't have the thing that they said they were going to have. You need to feel seen. Last 15 minutes of Las Culturistas podcast.
Yes.
All
And if you have
Right.
the time, the whole thing's great. But,
Yeah.
you know, I know you're busy. You're a bride.
But if
Or
you wanted
perhaps a
to
groom.
marathon just the last 15 minutes of every episode,
Yeah.
just like rage through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they do have a couple, I don't think so, honey, lives where they invite like 50 comedians on. And they just go
The whole episode?
The whole episode is comedians
What?
railing against. And they have something called the Troll Bowl, where they purposely fill the bowl with things that people love. So it's like, I don't think so, honey. Broadway divas over the age of 40, and of course it's like mostly gay men. So like they get that, and they have to go negative.
Yeah.
And they get very upset.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to go well.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Enjoy.
a fun pod. And it's just available
Nice.
everywhere.
Yep. iTunes everywhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good one.
That's all of our bridal breaks.
That's it.
And now we are on to talking about our own podcast. Pam,
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing? I saw Pinterest close and you're flickering. Your little phone is doing a lot of different things over there. You're tippity tapping. Your manicure's on point. How are you able to? Can we talk for a second about something?
What's that?
I have always had very short fingernails because I played sports when I was younger.
Yeah.
This.
And the few times I've tried to grow them out to look like an adult, I end up scratching my forehead like I'm a baby.
Wear socks on your hands.
I know. So you have really pretty long nails.
I'm sorry. Real quick. Wear socks on your hands?
What's what you do with little kids?
Babies.
Oh. I was like, why wouldn't she just wear gloves?
No, if a baby, in order to get the baby to stop scratching their face.
I'm with you now. Sorry.
Yes.
2 glasses of wine. Gotcha.
It's fine. But how do you tippity tap on the phone? You just like do just the finger?
Yeah.
I think I go curved so much.
You do the top.
Yes.
No, you
That
got to
doesn't work.
use
You gotta use
the pad. Yep.
Okay. Is this stimulating? I don't know. It's just genuinely, I'm always fascinated by women with long nails that can use a typewriter type situation. Typewriter, because
And these are not long nails. They're longer than yours, but they're not long nails.
Put it on Instagram.
All right.
They're not, I mean, they're not gross. They look nice. I'm just saying, but they are longer.
They're longer.
And I have little nubbins. Little nubbies.
They do.
I know. I
They're
can't get
short.
them any longer. They get in the way. Anyway. So
I also have short nails, in case anyone's wondering.
So Pam,
Yes.
you want to talk a little bit about where we can find out more information about our podcast?
I do.
Our new podcast was starting about fingernails.
Yes.
Is that gross?
Yep.
Okay.
Funerals, fingernails, and graduation ceremonies.
Good.
Stimulating talk.
Lord. I'd rather watch somebody get their nails done than go to a graduation.
Oh my God.
Said it.
You burnt.
You burnt. You graduated. Okay, so I've got my little clipboard, got my pen ready.
Clickety click.
Pamela.
Yes.
Are we timing you?
No.
Wait, I don't think you gonna say it. Paul. You ready to time Pam in a minute?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Paul's gonna do it. It's been a while. I think it's only fair that we do a little bit of a timing situation.
But you haven't explained what I'm timing yet.
Well, we'll get to it. Just
Okay.
I want to give you time to find that app, and I'll tell you when to use it.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pamela.
Yes.
I'm telling our listeners a little bit more about our show.
Okay.
Where can you learn more information about our podcast?
Go to weddingconfessionals.com.
Yes, from there you can find show notes, pictures, and also links to our social media handles. Where are we on social media?
Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We also want to hear your confessionals. Send us your
Yes.
stories. There's
We
3
love
different
them.
ways to send them to us. The first is to send us an email. What is the email address?
weddingconfessionals@gmail.com.
The phone number is 434-933-2663.
Cheater.
434-933-2663.
That's a confirmation on the cheating.
I started to get cocky and I pulled the clipboard away from my face thinking I knew the phone number, and then I forgot it. I got like shy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that shaves an automatic 2 seconds off Pam's time here.
I'll agree.
penalty.
That's fine. You get 2 extra seconds. Besides the phone number,
need
by the
more
way,
than that.
that phone number, you can leave us a voicemail. We will not use your voice. We just type out what you write, so it still stays very anonymous. Our third and most popular way is to go to what website, Pam?
weddingconfessionals.com.
Click on what tab?
Tell us your secret.
Tell us your secret. From there, you just fill out a quick form. It's just a name. We don't care what name you make. Honestly, make up a fun name. We enjoy them.
Entertain us. We
Yes,
love it.
Entertain us. That's what this form is for. Our entertainment. But yeah, put in your name, and then in the square, you just type in whatever drama is going on. Hit send.
Yeah.
No phone number. No email address.
Super easy.
We don't care.
Nope.
I mean, not that we don't care about you or your drama. We just don't
We
care
do
about your
care.
personal information.
We don't need it.
God, all those freaking privacy emails we're getting this week. Too much.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Vinny
Very
says you're
topical,
welcome.
and this airs in a month. So besides, also, we are on Apple Podcasts / iTunes. They always want us to push for people to hit what button?
5 stars.
I was going to say subscribe, but also give us 5 stars.
Subscribe.
Hit
I
the
know, I
buttons that
win.
lead to the 5 stars.
There we go.
And also hit subscribe. Yeah, if you could leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts / iTunes. The good thing about that is that helps move us up the search engine so more people can find our show. You
Yeah.
can help more brides and grooms. Do it for them. Do it for your fellow people in this mess.
Pay
Yes.
it forward.
Pay it forward.
Yes. Pay it
Um,
forward.
Besides Apple Podcasts, Paul, this is where you get in. I don't even know how many anymore. It's just a lot. Pamela, I'm going to give you Apple Podcasts. That will count as your 2-second pad Agreed.
No.
She'll be timed, and I will remove 2 seconds from the final time.
Okay, in
Thank
that
you.
case, you were saying Apple Podcast.
Sure.
I think you should
It doesn't take me 2 seconds to say Apple Podcast.
You should say Apple Podcast / AKA iTunes.
Oh my gosh.
Should I time how long it takes you to say that?
Time how long it takes us to fight and break up. Okay, Pam, we are available on a lot of different podcast providers. You're going to rattle off as many as you know, and we're going to time you. There's no real structure to this, but you always get nervous because you're a competitive person.
Yep.
She's twisting her hair and looking pissed. She's looking like that bride walking down the aisle with her dad that
Not
smashed the
happy
phone.
about being timed today.
Oh, she's feeling it. Okay, on your mark, get set, go.
iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Player FM, Podbean, Podcast Republic, Podcast Addict, Podcast Land, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Downcast, Castro, Pod Paradise, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Did I get them all?
Did you get Castbox?
Castbox! That's the last one.
I'll give it to you.
Thank
What
you.
How was it?
Adjusted time 23.25 seconds.
Slow.
Wow. Wow.
I have no idea. We haven't done the timing in so long. I just want to make you feel
We've
bad.
added a lot more too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm trying to get us
That was way more
into
than
more
11.
listeners' ears. Let's worry about Pam and not our listeners.
That's not what I'm saying. Good Lord.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Okay, thank you.
Well, that is the whole show. Paul, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Thanks for having me.
It was a blast. And Pammy, I will see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
I,
Special thanks to Andy Schreier for our adorable theme song, and to Ramsey Millay and Brian Maylard for their technical support, which we desperately needed.
Want to make sure you don't miss a single episode? Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, or SoundCloud, and make sure to give us a 5-star rating, or I guess a 4 if you're being judgy like us.
If you have a crazy story to tell or need some advice, you can reach us by going to our website, weddingconfessionals.com,
Or you can email us at weddingconfessionals@gmail.com.
or leave us a voice message at 434-933-2663. That's 434-933-2663.
And as always, we will never reveal the names in order to protect the innocent and the annoyed.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And if you're looking for those links, you can find those and more at our website, which you haven't figured out by now is weddingconfessionals.com.
See you guys next time.
Bye.